On a warm and humid summer morning in a Tokyo Airbnb, I squeezed every bit of my 6'6" self through the doorframe. But that wasn't before making the sample, an amazing piece of art, one I just listened to over and over and over. And that's what happens after creating something you're proud of. You look back at it, admire every single detail and how it makes you feel, the way it moves you. Then eventually you go again. Time to do it all over from a new and a blank slate. And starting the next idea seems like the most daunting task, now made even more daunting by the fact you just made some really good stuff. I would always say to myself, if only I could get back to that state, the one where everything was clear and flowing and I was tapped in with the side of me that I no longer have access to. And in so few words, that was the question I asked my friend Kevin. Me and Kevin plan to do some shopping before hitting the studio. Now usually I have a we'll see once we get there mindset, and I took us to a clothing store expecting there to be plenty more around. Then one block turned into 2, which turned into 5, and I was realizing, there's not that many stores open, 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, especially on the street that we're on. Time to distract Kevin with some conversation that will make us both think enough to forget about how little shopping we're going to end up doing. So I asked him how he'd go about answering this video's title. How have you been able to unlock your inner creative, I said. And that was the start of one of the most inspiring 30-minute conversations I've had this year. The biggest takeaway from it can be summed up in 3 words. Follow your feel. But that's so vague. What does that even mean? I'm clicking off this video, is what a previous version of myself would say after hearing those 3 words. But I'm going to break those 3 words down into 2 actionable points using an amazing analogy Kevin came up with. Every time you go to create, you have an empty room, he said, and your job is to paint the picture of how that room looks. Take Elkan for example. On the Dead on the Dance Floor sample, just by listening, you can see the room this girl is in. You can see her distress and every detail in the environment she's in. Elkan's so good at making songs because he paints exactly what he's feeling and what his room looks like that day. And that's following your feel. That's why Elkan was someone we both referenced multiple times in this conversation. And that's my first point. Listen to your feeling. Is it lively and joyous? Is it reminiscent and nostalgic? Or is it gloomy and sad? Whatever it is, train yourself to listen to how you're feeling and use that as a starting material for your creation. And it doesn't stop at your feeling either. Listen to what you want to say, what message you want to communicate. Tune into what you're feeling deep down, just like you would tune into a radio station. The signal might be unclear at first, but you'll eventually get a clear signal and a clear feeling. And then you just express it. Hold up. What if I have nothing to paint that day? Was my follow-up question. And the answer that Kevin came up with was simple. Go look at your friends' rooms. Take a peek at their paintings. Take a long walk and really take in every aspect of their art. And by the time you make it back, you'll have plenty of things to draw from, or paint in this case. Inspiration is another big key to unlocking your inner creative. While what we express are our personal stories, experiences, and feeling, the ways and methods in which we express our story is what getting inspiration helps with. This can be as simple as a walk in the park, or can be as grandiose as traveling all over the world. But in any case, simply living and exposing ourselves to new things, cultures, foods, and arts is the best way to discover what we like. And once we got that, we can use every piece of inspiration to help us paint our rooms in a way inspired by bits and pieces of our friends' paintings and rooms. Now me and Kevin hit on a few important closing points towards the end of our walk. The first of them being, not every painting you make is going to be an objective masterpiece, but it can still be your very own masterpiece in the fact that you made it and it's expressing exactly what you feel and exactly what you had to say in the moment where you made it. Point number 2 is to understand it's okay not to have the premium paintbrushes and the best color shades. And in truth, nobody has the perfect paintbrush. Everybody's working towards getting better every single day, even the masters. But it's important to work hard so you can get some of the premium paintbrushes and some of the better color shades. And it's important that even if you don't have the greatest tools, to still express exactly what you feel with the tools that you have. But what's more important than any paintbrush, any color shade, any painting analogy at all, is asking yourself the question, am I proud of the room that I painted today? Does this room really represent me, how I feel, what I have to say and my feeling. And I believe that asking yourself that question over and over and making sure you're happy with the answer is how you unlock your inner creative.